Hey guys, I'm going to provide this video to you that will teach you some additional aspects of the gift. Okay, so it won't be on the same quality as the original download, but there's going to be some great material in it. We're going to cover four main things. One, some people are having some issues with being able to take a rubber band off the wrist and having it dangle the full length of what a normal rubber band should be. This could possibly be because you have maybe bigger wrists and or you're not stretching the band out long enough. I'm going to cover a method on how to do that. Uh, the second thing I'm going to do is give you two variations of a magical way of placing that bow or that band onto the other rubber band as a bow. So you can do the original method or you can do these two different variations that I've come up with. The third thing is we're going to go full in depth on the ladder phase. Some people were saying within the reviews that they were having some difficulties. So I'm going to teach you all of the finesses, everything that I know about the ladder phase, and I'm sure you're going to be able to get it. Then the last thing is, it's my gift to you, is the advanced method of the ladder, where your thumbs stay stationary, but that thing continues to move down. It looks amazing. And so we're going to provide you that fourth additional item. So there's a lot of material. Again, like I said, it's not on the same quality, but I'll try to cover everything, and I'll turn around so you can see some of the behind views, and we'll get started now. So how do you bring the rubber band out? The full length will look something like this. And again, you would pop it onto the bow, okay? Now how this is done. On my wrist, I don't know if you can see that too well, which you can't, are two rubber bands that are bridle hitched together. And what that basically means is you're going to overlap these two bands and fold one over the other. So essentially both are being folded over each other like this. Okay? This is called a bridle hitch. You basically wrap one rubber band around the other and you pull both bands apart from each other, creating a loop. This is placed on your wrist, okay, and I have one already here. And you want to make sure that the connections are on the sides of your wrist, okay? So now all you're simply going to do, and I'll make one of these bands for you right here so you can see what's kind of happening. Let's say, for example, this is your wrist. You're just going to grab one strand, and you know how I turn my hand? One strand only, and you're going to twist it and bring it up at the fingertips. Then, as you pull all of this, what gets tight is the other rubber band around your wrist. And this is allowed to be loose. So, what it looks like on the wrist is this. Let's see here. Watch what happens. See that? Now, that rubber band is here. And that's the full length. Again, you just pull this out, and you have the full length of the rubber band. Now, because I use my bands, they have that lash reflex on it. Even though they're bridle hitched, they come back on the wrist with no problems. You may have some issues if you're using some of the classic rubber bands that they get bound up on each other. But I haven't had any issues with my rubber bands as far as being able to go back onto the wrist with a bridle hitch. So that's one improvement. Okay. Now, let's place the gift band on the wrist and show you the two variations I've come up with. Again, you can do the original where you just pop it on, but some would say that it's almost like a too perfect theory. Like, how in the world is this thing going on there? I've come up with something that seems almost a little plausible, but is still crazy and magical. So it looks something like this, right? You take the rubber band off your wrist, and then there's the other one, right? Now watch this. Just going to give it a little shake like this and place the bow on there right there. That's one variation. The additional variation is this. Okay, so one is you're placing it on there, and the other is you're tossing it. Okay, now how this is done, right? You know you're holding this at the fingertips. Your hand comes over and grabs this band, and you pull out. All you're simply going to do is shake and slowly let this thing go back onto your wrist. And then you want to end either way you'd like. You can just place it on or throw it on. Okay, so those are 3 different ways of being able to pop that bow on there. I think they all look great. And let's get into the latter phase. Now, regardless of whether you use the first phase where you put the bow on there, you should always start the latter phase with the rubber band held between your thumb and your first finger. It just makes it easier to get into position. So, thumb and first finger, then you place another one on your third finger. So third finger to third finger, first finger to first finger, and then you're going to relax and get the bands to come all the way down to the base of the fingers. Doing this allows you to get that all the way into the fingers without trying to move your hands and twisting the band. You don't want the bands to look twisted. So you relax and you just let it wiggle all the way down to the base of the fingers, okay? Now, like I explained in the video, you want to put your fingers underneath, but here's a finesse that will help you. If you tilt your hands like this and close your fingers, it automatically goes right into position, okay? So tilt, right into position. In fact, all of the finesses that I'm going to teach you is all about tilting the wrists, okay? By tilting the wrist is what causes a lot of the magic to happen. Now, as I taught in the video, you're going to use your thumbs to pull the band down. But in essence, when I do it, I'm not completely pulling it down right away into the fingers. I'm using my wrists to let it go down. So if you shake and use your wrists, it looks magical and it happens on its own. You're pulling back slightly and then you're shaking, okay? You're pulling back and you're pulling down and you're moving your wrists. And again, remember your thumbs are going to come up like this and they kind of get out of view for a second and the band just travels down. Now how that looks like from the back view, okay? Let's get into focus, please. Right. So tilt, fingers go underneath. Then your thumb is going to rest on top of the band. Slowly pull down and the wrist turn to get into position. From the front, you're going to turn up and the bow goes down. What I like to do as well is that shaking motion to cause it to go down. To go up, you just let everything out. And I like to come up slightly and come down. But as I come down like this. So watch what happens. Again. It's all in the wrists. From the back view again. Okay. So, now, once we're in this position, the finesse here is you want to take your hands and you want to move so that the wrists are placed in a position that all of the band is showing towards your audience. Now, you could do this and release your fingers, add the motion of going up and that covers it. But if you do it this way, it's almost as if the configuration forces its way out of your fingers. You just simply relax, and it automatically wants to unravel in your hands. So you wrist turn and just simply lightly let the band slip out of your fingers. And that's it. Okay, so remember, your hands are going to turn slightly down. They close in. Your fingers rest on top of that band. Slightly pull back and turn at the wrists, right? So it's going to pull back and down, and turn at the wrists. Okay, then toss up, toss down, and then let it come out slowly each time. And that's all there is to it for all of the finesses that I've come up with the gift. Now, let's get into the advanced method where the thumbs stay completely stationary. So remember, you hold it like this. This goes here. Rubber band, the bow is in the center. Now watch. All we're going to do is simply just give a little shake like this, and it goes all the way to the bottom. Back to the top, back to the bottom, and slowly begins to rise all the way to the top. So again, watch. I'll show you what I'm getting at here. Watch the thumbs. They stay in view the whole time. Again, they stay in view. And how this is done is you want to take your thumbs and extend them forward so that what's ending up happening is this top strand is coming back slightly. But from this view, it still looks like they're on four rungs, right? But the top one is slightly back. So now, with the thumbs on top, all you're doing is simply turning at the wrist with the thumbs in place, and it goes all the way down to the bottom. Up, down, and the thumbs never move. One more time. Up. Okay, it takes a little time doing it slow motion here. Okay, now from the back, I'll show you what that looks like. You get underneath each one. You're going to try to extend your thumbs on top so that this portion, let me move back a little bit, this portion, I guess the crease of your thumb, it gets on top of that band. Okay? And then you just simply pull back slightly and turn at the wrist. Hold on. Again, pull back slightly and turn at the wrist. From the front, I mean, it looks completely magical. It's amazing. Again, one more time. Slow motion, it's a little difficult, but in performance, it looks pretty amazing. So, those are the 4 things that we've covered. If you found any of them useful or helpful, feel free to comment on it in the reviews. I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's helped you. I hope you will go out there and enjoy and perform the gift. It was a pleasure inventing and performing, and it's a gift to me to give to you. So thank you so much, and look forward to more in the future. I have so many cool rubber band tricks coming out.